I'm like that. And we're back. We're
We
back.
are back. Welcome, everybody. We're officially back. It's been 7 days since the Anime for All podcast was rocking your way, and we're back for more, and we're rip roar raring. And I'm here with my subordinate slash kind of co-host, but mostly subordinate, alternate visuals, who is here to kind of be a sounding board. I'm going to be doing all the talking, so don't worry. We won't let him talk. And we are doing episode 1 of My Hero Academia, also known as episode 160, depending on how you look at it, of the final season. It does mention Froppy at one point, who plays a pivotal role. So this podcast will be worth listening to for anybody that was worried about that.
Oh, you're
And
done.
that just about wraps it up. So we're going to close up the podcast for today. Thanks everybody for coming along. We hope to hear from you soon. And Jeremy, roll the podcast credits, I guess.
Done.
Yes.
And also podcast credits. You give me too much credit to be able to do that. Like, I could have a button for that. Oh no! This is gonna sound really weird when I say this out loud, but I've already started the sentence, so I'm gonna have to finish it. Shantae dancing on my stream deck is gone. I gotta fix that later.
Enchante or just Shantae?
Shantae, the half genie hero video game character. She was, as I want to say, belly dancing on my stream deck. And no, that's not a euphemism. Just like,
It sounds like it doesn't sound unlike a euphemism.
not a euphemism. I mean, it was like she was dancing. There was a 2D image of her dancing on there. And I was really proud that I managed to put that on there. But because of my recent cleaning of the cloud, she's gone. It's just saddening to me because like that was a night I gotta fix that, and I'm disappointed. I'm sad. I'm double sad now because that happened, and then this is the final season of My Hero Academia. I'm actually more sad about the My Hero Academia thing, but
I'm sad too.
But this is the final season. Apparently, and I'm gonna confirm this really quick as well. The season length, which I had thought was gonna be so, but I think I got confirmation that it's definitely so. Oh, that I was gonna find an episode number. I heard for somewhere that apparently this season's gonna be 11 episodes. So this is gonna be the shortest season. I think by 1 for My Hero Academia, because I think first season it was 12 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured
sad.
Huh?
That's kind of sad.
Well, at least from what I can figure out, I don't think there's like much left. I think really what's left right now is the fight with All Might here, and All for One, and Deku with Shigaraki happening over there in a hurricane, as they colorfully stated, a power that's going on for him in that fight over there. But with that being said, last season they ended us off with the epic confrontation between All Might and his former villain, with Deku fighting his villain, and that's kind of how they ended it. After the Toga versus Uraraka and Froppy fight, and it pretty much ended season 7. This was an interesting start to a season because when I was watching it, I was like, There's no way this is gonna be a filler, is it? This is not gonna be like a recap that I don't need to watch. And for a minute, I got really concerned as the episode started because they were re-airing a few moments of the fight between All Might and All for One from the last season. But I guess honestly, probably needed because I forgot about some of that stuff until I started watching again. I was like, oh, that's right, all this did happen. Armored All Might was a thing. I forgot about that. Bat Might, which can also be a cool name, and
Batmite?
also
Who's Batmite?
is what I'm calling All Might in his armored suit.
Oh, okay.
But Armored All
You don't want
Might.
to go the Iron Man route? You want to go Batman route?
This is kind of like a fusion of Batman and Iron Man, even though I would say those two are not unsimilar. But I'm not gonna go into that. But
Well, not with their fighting style. Iron Man's pretty much in your face, and Batman's a little more stealthy. Like I don't think I've ever seen Iron Man be what I would consider stealthy, or try to strike fear into the hearts of criminals. I don't think striking fear into the hearts of criminals is really his deal.
I feel like the suit would be enough, but I wouldn't know. But okay. But basically, this entire like the very first half of the first episode was a recap of like how All Might was getting over on All for One, but in reality, and they kind of explain too, is like really All Might's just trying to injure him to the point where he'll keep regenerating and therefore regressing in age. So I guess what All Might's hoping to do is kill him by doing that. Which at the end of the episode, I almost thought he did, but then it wasn't. It was a surprise character who showed up. But I like the fight with All Might, and All for One is like All Might he just knows that he can keep talking. He can just keep talking trash to All for One. He'll keep falling for it because All for One's just becoming younger and therefore becoming more ably mentally bruised by his insults towards them. All for One is like All for One knows that he's just there to stall for time, but I think All for One at this point has completely forgotten about that and just wants to kill the guy who's caused him so much trouble over the years. But also like All Might using a suit that he apparently was made by that girl in the USA, with all the powers of his students, which some of them I wasn't even aware that they were there until like his suit became this mangled mess, or this mangled jumbled like assimilation of arms and pieces. I didn't know he had I didn't know he had Tail Man's power in there. I didn't know he had Tentacles power in there. I didn't even know he had honestly, I didn't even know he had I Cannot Stop Twinkling in there either until like he basically just said like and I also just love how what he says before the All for One before he hits him with it is like, and like this name will be burned into your brain, like I cannot stop twinkling. And I'm like, dear God, I can't believe we managed to we got to this point in the anime now where that name is actually not bad sounding.
Yeah, that was sad. And they take up the whole screen. They really leaned into it. They took up the whole screen to like brag about it.
Well, I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, it's really weird. I'm not gonna lie, it's still weird. And I think, I honestly, it's one of those weird things. It's like when you first heard it all those seasons ago, you just kind of brushed it off. It was like, why is he doing that? Don't stop it. No, stop twinkling. My goodness.
Yeah.
But now it's like twinkle all over.
You twinkle, girl. You twinkle.
It's like twinkle all over him. But I do like the laser on All for One that kept him into the ground. It was essentially keeping him in there. I was surprised at how much power it was in that, but I'm also not surprised that it was draining the battery that apparently was inside the suit piece from the car that All Might had sent over there to prepare to be in the right spot to launch the laser spear. But then All Might was like, I realized I can't do what All Star does, so I'm just gonna use sound waves to keep you down there, which apparently was more useful than I thought it was gonna be. But I also say powers I didn't know that was in that suit. Earphones,
Why
yeah.
do we? What is that suit? Like, why was I so unfamiliar with that suit when he brought it out? You
Mm,
sound like you were very familiar with the suit.
No, it's a new suit. It never was made. It was just made by that girl in America. But that suit, he revealed it in the last season. Like it was the very last
Okay.
episode. He put that thing on in the last season, and it was like because this entire first half was just a recap. The later half of the fight, though, that wasn't in the anime and final episode. That was not there. The twinkling, the gravity froppy stuff that he was doing.
Uh
Um,
huh.
I think we saw. No, we saw the birds, but I didn't know who the birds were until he brought up that they were animas. It was cool. Um,
But they're not animas. They're maybe inspired by it, but they're not his, right?
no, they're anima. I mean, they're not birds per se, but they're like they act like his power basically, which is just like having animals swarm. They weren't as useful as Hitchcock birds, but at the same time, it's like you expect. I don't think you can make a massive amount of robotic birds. Well, maybe you could. We're not gonna get into that. But I don't think you can make a massive amount of birds and use them and have them somewhere where they wouldn't take up space. But
Hmm.
they were basically Anima's powers. I mean, none of the powers that All Might had on his body were really his students. They were just like mimicking of his students. Well, except for maybe Pinky. I think that must have been her acid. There is no way that wasn't. But
Her what?
her acid.
Okay, you said acid. I thought you said something else for a second.
Her, she is a high school girl. Calm down. Sorry, had to. But
That's funny. I'm good.
actually, speaking of high school girl, we'll go right back really quick to uh I Cannot Stop Twinkling and Invisible Girl. uh I find it cool they had a little moment there. I wasn't expecting Invisible Girl to, I guess, to be like the crux of being able to hit the plant man, who at the time, I'm gonna back up real quick, when we go back to them, like Twinkle is apparently being held hostage by plants, so is Fat Gum, and then Fat Gum deflates and then immediately faints.
Are we sure that Fat Gum didn't die?
I'm certain he didn't die because the way freaking Twinkle was talking about it, I forgot the words that he used. I can probably find them really quick. Because he made it sound like what he understood how the flowers work. They keep on moving as long as they're attached to the person and they're draining life. If they're
Uh huh.
dead, I don't think those plants could still be sustaining life. I could be wrong about how those plants work, but I feel like
They said that the plants don't die even after the person that was controlling them died. Like it sounds like they're pretty independent to some point, right?
but the people that the plants are growing out of weren't controlling the plants.
No, the guy, once he was defeated, like the plants remained. They're like, the guy's defeated, but we still have to get rid of the plants. It sounded like.
Yeah, I think they will die if they don't get rid of the plants.
Okay. It
Uh,
just Fat Gum seemed pretty defeated. That's all. So it made me worry.
I
I
mean,
was worried because Fat Gum's one of my favorites.
I don't think he's dying. I think he's done.
Yeah, for
Just
the rest of
because
the series, probably, if we're being honest.
just because he's fainted doesn't mean he's dead. Defeat doesn't mean death in this. I'm just gonna not say that.
It doesn't necessarily mean death for sure, but I don't know.
32 heroes. I can just read this fast enough. Other 32 heroes who were there to deal with the remaining villains. Jesus, he killed all, well, not killed, but he incapacitated. But he says all but one have been incapacitated. That doesn't mean they're dead. And that's just a narrator.
He says that, but that's before we see Fat Gum kind of take an L. Like
I don't
at that
think
point, Fat Gum was. It's accurate to say Fat Gum was incapacitated at that time.
I think incapacitated is they're not conscious.
Right. But afterwards, then he deflated, and then he turned into the big thing. Like that all happened after the word incapacitated was used.
Let the roots slowly grow into me. I can't even use absorption. We don't even really see his face when his arms go limp. And like I said before, I'm not saying I didn't think he died. He didn't. That he died. He didn't die. I thought maybe he did die there.
I don't know. I was upset.
And it's not like the plant guy isn't averse to murder. I think he said he was a mass murderer. The flower blooms, pollen will give rise to more, one after another. So the roots, they will become my hands and feet. No way you can escape. Like your belt. Okay, that's just the list. You know, I don't know why I never made this, you know, made this, where I'm trying to say connection. Well, like, Aoyama's basically Cyclops.
Who is Belly guy? Belly boy?
Yeah.
Mr. Twinkle?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
He's basically Cyclops.
He's not basically Cyclops. He has the same power as Cyclops. I think it's a little bit of an exaggeration to say that means he's Cyclops, but...
I'm thinking about him being Cyclops, meaning just that both of them don't have the ability to control the laser abilities from, you know, because they just leak out for really no reason.
Yeah, yeah. So they have almost identical... If you think about it that way, they have almost identical abilities.
I think they both have, like, I wouldn't say tragic backstories, but...
Twinkle's story is kind of a little sad, right? I mean, that's... I'm not saying... I wouldn't discount what you're saying.
Now, I'm not saying that his story isn't kind of tragic, but I think maybe using the word tragic might be a little bit overkill. It is sad, but... You know, someone said about, like, look, it'll only help with flower growth. Okay, the flower is feeding off Aoyama's energy. Maybe I need to fast forward. I thought maybe the villain said something about something. I think it was Aoyama who said something. Or maybe that alludes to the fact that maybe they are alive. They're slowly dying. I'm looking at it, like, I will say I like that, like, you know, it was a tag team move where Aoyama shooting his laser, and then Invisible Girl using her invisibility to refract light.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess as a downside, his laser disrupted her ability to stay invisible.
Downside? What are you, gay?
No, I'm just saying that for her whole stick.
Gay.
Why do
gay.
I never understood. I know you're just joking, but I will say, I guess I'm gonna get in the soapbox here, really quick about that. I don't understand specifically when women say have this. This is gonna sound a lot worse as I'm rounding up to say what I'm about to say. But I don't like it when